You're going to networking events, you're going to events, you're going to social settings, and you're not being yourself. You're dressing as how you want to be perceived based on who they are. You're dressing as someone else. You don't even like what you're wearing. You don't even like what you're saying. Okay, you're doing all this stuff and that's not you. You know, part of really accepting yourself and blossoming into the woman you're meant to be is speaking up. Allowing yourself to be wrong, allowing yourself to be heard, allowing yourself to be right, allowing yourself to be you. A lot of us are just fading into the background in our environments and just making zero impact and not allowing people to see us. And we're wondering, okay, no one really values me, no one really hears me, no one really sees me. It's because you're not allowing yourself to be seen or heard most of the time. Accepting yourself and turning into the best version of yourself and turning into who you're meant to be means that you need to stop muting yourself and watering yourself down so that you don't seem as too much. Because if you're telling yourself that maybe I'm too much for this person, that just means you're too much for them, but that doesn't mean you're too much in general. I used to try and dim myself down when I was around certain people because I didn't want to think, oh, you're too much, you're doing too much. I do too much. I am very extra. I'm a lot. Like, I am a lot and I know I'm a lot. And I used to try and not appear as a lot because I didn't want you to think I'm doing too much. I used to try and not over talk because I didn't want you to think, oh, this girl talks too much. Yeah, I talk a lot, but sometimes I'm very silent. And sometimes I used to try and fit in and be someone else. But it's like, I'm not that person. So why am I trying to become my environment rather than being me in that environment? You see, when you are yourself in an environment, you stand out as yourself. But when you try and camouflage and become the environment, then you're not standing out. You're just becoming like everyone else. You're becoming a follow fashion. You're becoming a people pleaser. When you go into an environment, you shouldn't try and just become like the environment and adapt to the environment. Go into an environment as yourself. I always say that I don't dress for the occasion. I dress how I feel and I show up to the occasion. I don't want to adjust my personality to make other people comfortable. I don't want to adjust things about myself to make other people feel okay or settled around me. If I'm too much, then I'm too much. But I'm going to show up as all of me, not just half of me. Because how can I want people to accept me and like me when they're not even seeing the full version of myself? How can you want people to like and accept you when they don't even know the real you? Okay, because 6 months down the line, they're getting shocked. They're getting shocked. Okay, you're all hiding your laugh from people. And then when they eventually see it, they're like, Rod, didn't know you had that. Didn't know you laugh like that. Like, showing up as yourself is one of the biggest forms of self-love. Allowing yourself to be you despite what other people think. Allowing yourself to express yourself in ways that go against the norms, in ways that go against how society seems as normal. Yeah, you know, you see those weird people that dress weird. I call them skateboard dudes, but that's kind of like a stereotype. Like, you know, like they dress very funky and very like street, and I'm looking at them like, that is definitely an outfit. I personally don't like it, but you're dressing as yourself. You're expressing yourself in your own form. And yeah, maybe the type of people you're around don't also express themselves like that, but that doesn't mean that you can't express yourself. You're stifling yourself in order to make your environment comfortable. You want to do something, but you're stopping yourself because you're scared of how you'll be perceived. Like, you want to say something, but you mute yourself because you think no one will hear you. So what if you say something and no one hears you? You said it. Like, you need to show up as yourself without apologies, okay? Because nobody, like, you fade into the background when you meet yourself. And then you wonder why no one wants to hear you. Because you don't speak and let yourself be known. You know, you're too worried about what they think. What if they're looking at this? You're worried about your insecurities. Everyone has insecurities, but not everyone showcases them. When you meet me, the most frequent word that I hear people describe me as is confident. A lot of people I hear all the time say I'm very confident. Oh, I didn't know he was this bold. I didn't know he was like this. But they don't know that inside, sometimes I feel very timid. They don't know that sometimes inside I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're probably looking at this insecurity. They're probably judging me. They're probably this, they're probably that. But I still show up as this confident Lakeisha. My confidence shows that despite my insecurities, I know who I am. Insecurities and all. You're muting yourself and you're dimming yourself down because you're scared of how you'll be perceived. Like, do you know how mad that was? Like, you're not being you because you're scared of how you'll be perceived. So you take on the persona of someone else. You try and be the bubbly girl. You try and be the it girl. You try and dress like this. You try and do that. You try and do all these things to fit in with your crowd when you're not being yourself. What makes a crowd is individual people that come together and form a crowd. That is a crowd. Individuals that come together. And God made you a specific type of way. As He gave you specific personality traits that are meant to glorify Him, that are interesting, okay, that bring something new to the environment, to the world, and you're hiding that. because you're scared how people will see you. You're hiding that because you haven't met anyone like yourself. I'll tell you something, I haven't met anyone like me. I haven't met much people like me. I haven't met much deep thinkers around my age range. I haven't met much people that have similar personalities to me. I haven't met a lot of people that have the same banter as me. Let me rephrase that. I haven't met a lot of women like me. I haven't met a lot of women that are as deep thinkers as me, that I've personally met. I've seen them, yeah, but I haven't met them. I haven't met a lot of women that have the same sense of humor as me. I haven't met a lot of women like me. And if I was more insecure and less confident in myself, when I get around certain women, I try and dim myself down to be like them. But I don't. I don't care if I sound like someone who's from a flipping alien planet. I'm gonna speak based on who I am, not based on who I want you to perceive me as. You know, and a lot of the time we say things to fit in, and sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it until we said it. You think, oh my gosh, why did I say that? Why did I do that? And it's like, we subconsciously try and fit in with where we are to blend in so that we don't look like the odd one out. But what you have to realize is you have to be comfortable with being an odd one out in order for people to accept you. Because the most interesting people are first rejected by society. Like, we look at some people and think, oh my gosh, you're weird. Or we look at them super brainy people and think, you're nerdy. But they're them. And I know I look at them anime people like, you are watching cartoons and you have based the whole culture around cartoons. Like, it's crazy, but that is them. You're stopping yourself from starting certain things because you think you'll look stupid. You are stopping yourself from YouTube, podcasting, from creating content, from writing that book, from doing this, that, the other, because you're scared you'll look stupid. You're scared you'll look stupid. We look stupid every day. Do you know how much times I trip over my feet in public? Do you know how much times I probably make a weird facial expression? Do you know how much times I've probably done like awkward things or said awkward things and I've embarrassed myself? There's always going to be times where we embarrass ourselves, where we look stupid. Like, starting that thing, if you think you look stupid, you're too worried about what other people say. Because let me tell you something, when I first started YouTube, I thought I looked stupid. I thought, okay, this girl's getting like, what, 10 views, 7 views in 48 hours? Like, bro, she needs to give it up. I thought people were saying that, but I kept going. And now, like, my views have increased significantly, which is quite nice. Because consistency is the thing that brings results. You have to be okay with being you. That you have to know you enough and be okay with you enough to be yourself in other environments. You're going to networking events, you're going to events, you're going to social settings and you're not being yourself. You're dressing as how you want to be perceived based on who they are. You're dressing as someone else. You don't even like what you're wearing. You don't even like what you're saying. Okay, you're doing all this stuff and that's not you. Show up as yourself and be yourself. It's okay to be different. In fact, everyone wants different. Okay, it's just sometimes it takes a bit longer to accept the weird type of different. I love different people. Because it shows me that there's depth in the world. It shows me that not everyone's like me. I like different thinkers, you know? Everyone doesn't want to just experience the same people. You bring something new to the table. So stop worrying about what other people are thinking of you or what other people think of you doing this and that. Just do it. Like, just feel the fear and do it anyways. No one's going to come and reassure you every day. You've got to reassure yourself. Do you think people reassure me? I don't have people to reassure me. I am my own shoulder to cry on. I am my own friend. I am my own assurance. Me and God. You have to be all of that for yourself. You can't look to other people to validate you. Sometimes you may have a strong community of people around you that are able to help you, that are able to speak life into you. And sometimes you may not, but you have to be all of that for yourself. Because sometimes you're going to do stuff and people are going to look at you and think, what the flip? But you have to be strong enough to do it anyways. Even if it doesn't work. Even if people think you're weird. You have to be yourself without apologies. You have to say no without apologies. You have to be you without apologies. Even if it makes you a little bit lonely. Because sometimes being yourself, sometimes standing up for yourself, sometimes setting certain standards for yourself brings you to a point of being alone. You have to be okay with that not everyone will like you. And once you're okay with that, you will blossom into who you're truly meant to be.